Hello, this is Dan the Furniture Repairman. We're going to show you how to repair this broken armrest on the rocker. This is the armrest that goes on there. The dowel broke because the armrest is so tall and the leverage works against it too much. And you can see the dowel just broke right in half. And the dowel takes up almost all of that spindle. So we don't want to redowel this because it's going to be so close to the edge. What we're going to do is sand off the broken parts of the dowel because they're not going back together well. So we might as well get them out of the way. We're center punching the spindles so that we can drill a hole down through the center. This keeps our drill bit from walking on us, so we're right in the center. So we start with a long drill bit. This is about 1/8 of an inch, I believe, maybe 3/16. And we're going to try to stay right along the line and punch through right through the bottom there. Look at that nice smoke coming out. So that's the hole we have, and we're going to use that to align everything. But it's going to be a little bit tricky, and we're going to show you the problems, how to overcome them. First of all, we're not able to get our drill bit in right here because the stretcher is in the way. So we're going to put our drill bit in first, and we're going to attach our right angle drill second. So we can get the drill on there, but now our drill bit is just too long. We can't back it off enough. So we're taking our cutting wheel and we're cutting the drill bit down to size. This isn't such a big deal to do. Don't be afraid to cut things and make them work for you. We're going to attach the armrest. That way it sits in the right position front to back. And then we're going to hold it in the correct position right to left. And we're going to drill up from the bottom and we're going to align our hole. And this is basically just a way to align the hole correctly. And as we take it apart, what you're going to see is we've made a little bit of a hole right there in the bottom of the armrest. And we can drill upwards and make that hole bigger, and we know we have our alignment correct. Now we're drilling back down, and we're using a little bit of a longer drill bit than we need to put this lag bolt in. And this lag bolt is what we're going to use to put this all back together. It's going to be much stronger than the dowel. And you can see right there, it's going to come up into the bottom of that armrest. But we also have to countersink the lag bolt. Now right here again, I have a spade bit that I cut. We call these stubbies so we can get them in places that are tight. And we're going to do our countersink hole. Our lag bolt goes right up, and you can see the lag bolt slides in. We don't want to have to shoot it in, screw it in. We want it to slide in so that it'll tighten up against it. But it's a little bit too long. And like I said, I'm showing you the good, the bad, the ugly about how we do things. We're going to cut it off with a cut wheel, and then we're going to take our die grinder, and we're going to just kind of shape that end into a little bit of a point so it goes up in there correctly. We're going to use our ratchet. Now we did pre-drill out the top end of the armrest so that the lag bolt doesn't split it when it goes in. And now it's countersink well, it's out of the way. We don't fill that, we leave it like that. And this is the way the armrest looks. So it's nice and strong. We're doing both the left and the right side. But before we do all that, what we're going to do is we glued on the rest of the backrest of the chair. And now we're going to put it together. We're using carpenter's glue on part of this and epoxy on the rest. So you saw carpenter's glue going right into that spindle joint. We always apply glue to both parts of our glue up, not just one part. I found this gives us a much better chance of not getting adhesive starved. We like to see glue squeeze out. Now we're going to use 15-minute quick cure epoxy from System 3. We're going to mix it right up, and then where the lag bolt is, we're going to use epoxy for a couple reasons. One is there's going to be a lot of empty area in there, and we want to fill it. So we saw that lag bolt slide in before. We want that, but we're going to coat the threads with epoxy so that they'll dry and they'll marry that lag bolt right to there. And we're going to just push it up just like that. But what it also does, it gives it a little bit of cushion. So as it worries around in there and moves around in there, it doesn't beat up the wood. And now I'm putting a little epoxy right down on the top of that lag bolt. And we're going to let it just fill up that cavity. Now, we're also going to put epoxy on the other end of the repair inside of the bolt and on the edge so that we have lots of epoxy filling up the cavities. You don't want empty spaces. That's really the key. Empty spaces lead to cracks. Fill them up somehow with epoxy, and then you'll have a much stronger repair that'll last a bunch longer. We're putting our armrest right back here, shooting our screw in. We have our spindle in place. Now we're just going to use the impact driver, and we're just going to start that lag bolt up into the bottom of the armrest, but we're not going to shoot it all the way home with the impact driver because we don't want to strip it or go too strong. We're going to just use our ratchet. Manny's right here with the ratchet in his hand. He's our repair tech. And what we're doing is we're filling up a glue syringe with some epoxy. And we're going to show you why we're doing this. We drilled a couple holes from the top into that cavity where that lag bolt is, and we're going to fill that lag bolt up from the top with epoxy. That way we don't have a big hollow space in there that'll crack later. It'll all be solid. It'll all become part of the piece. A little bit of cleanup with some denatured alcohol and get the glues cleaned up, and this is what we end up with. Bing, bang, boom, look at that. Nice and strong and beautiful, ready for the next 30, 40, 50, 100 years. This is Dan, the Furniture Repairman. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any videos you'd like us to do, let me know. If you want to call me a shoemaker or have a question, put it in the comments below. Thank you. Remember to like and subscribe if possible. You all have a good day.